Here's a few little tips when you're trying to select something that is somewhat circular. It might not be a perfect circle. And of course we have the elliptical marquee tool, and the challenge is, where do you start dragging the mouse so that it lines up? And that's always a bit of a challenge. So here's a couple of suggestions for you. First of all, with either selection tool, either the marquee or the elliptical marquee tool, as you start dragging, if you want to reposition, don't let go of the mouse, hold down the space bar, and lets you reposition on the fly. So I can kind of adjust, reposition, adjust, and so on, and get a pretty decent selection that way. Sometimes it might be easier to aim for the center of an object. To do that, hold down the Option key on the Mac, Alt for Windows, and drag outwards. You can still hold down the space bar to reposition as well. So in this case I'm holding down Alt and the space bar, Option and the space bar. Another option which can help you be a little more specific, if you show the rulers, I just press Command or Control R and just drag a guide down that touches the top and the side of the circle area you're trying to select, and then you just click right on the intersection of those two guides, and that should give you a pretty darn good indication of where to drag. So that's another method we can use. And lastly, let me just clear those guides out of there. This is probably the best way of all, ultimately, because especially let's actually try and select this one over here that's not even really circular. It's sort of a weird oval shape. I just need to make a basic selection and then go to the Select menu and use Transform Selection. That put handles on here, which at first doesn't appear to help me a whole lot because it's hard to get it to match because it is circular. So what I do is I hold down Command on the Macintosh, Control for Windows, and that lets me adjust each corner handle independently, and this will often give me much better level of control so I can make things match up pretty darn close. And once I'm happy with it, I press Enter. So there you have it, just a few little tips for working with the marquee selection tools. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little tip. This is Dave Cross. We'll see you next time with another tip for Photoshop.